Alright, I should be all good to go. Yeah, welcome everybody to Donkey Kong Country 2, game that I think needs no introduction, made by Rare in 1995. The category is 80%, so we will try to get through this game as fast as possible. Time starts here. Here we go. Alright, so the thing about this run, for the first two words, there are shortcut barrels that are completely developer intended. One of which is right here. And these ones allow you to get straight to the end of the level. So we will be skipping basically all the levels in the first two words. But there are gonna be none of them later on. So we're not gonna be able to skip those levels unless there is a wrong word, like there is here. There we go. So what happened there is there are multiple glitches in the game that allow you to get invisible objects. So basically I took that beetle and then I went close to another one and I released and repressed Y. You have about a 6-frame window to do this, and when you do that, it allows you to clash beetles with each other, and basically you clear the beetle from memory, but you're still holding beetle. So you're essentially holding whatever happens to be in the area of memory where the beetle used to be. And that area of memory, since it's empty, it can be filled with other objects, including objects that you're normally not supposed to be able to hold, including warp barrels and bonus barrels. And it just so happens that when you throw those objects while holding left, you can trigger a function that... Need to focus. Down. Ends the stage immediately. Okay, so that was Word 1. This is the boss of Word 1, which is basically the only major source of RNG in the run. Here in Phase 2, shortly, he will bash against this nest and throw eggs, which have a 50-50 chance of being either real or fake. This is a real one. One more. 1, 2, 2 fakes. Okay, not too bad. I splits here. I guess I didn't need them. Anyway. So coming on to Word 2, we have more shortcut barrels. We'll be using this first one to wrong word. And that's a 2-1 jump. Normally you have to team throw up that cliff, but you can actually initiate a jump and team up exactly 2 frames after you start the jump. And after that jump you have a 2-frame window to do another jump, and you basically get a sort of quote-unquote double jump. You basically get a bit of extra height that allows you to get up the cliff without team throwing. Saves almost about 2 seconds. And the rest of these levels are just warp barrels to get to the end. No more wrong words for now. It's kind of a shame because this level hosts the only 2 levels, this world hosts the only 2 levels that have Hothead Hop, that's the name of this song that is playing. Which is my opinion, honestly, one of the best tracks in the entire OST. But yeah, these are the only 2 levels where this track plays in the run, and they're skipped. Kind of a shame. But hey, there are also other categories like Warpless and 1 or 2 where this plays a little bit longer. Alright. It is probably one of the easiest levels in the run. The warp arrow is right at the start, and there's no real tricks to this. Alright. Cleaver, this guy's kind of scary. I'm gonna be trying to do something a little bit out of order here. That was on a right spawn. That throw almost missed. I did happen the other day where I got a decent spawn and it just missed. It's pretty rare. Alright, this is the lava fly. There we go. This saves about 4 seconds, but there is a chance for that here if missed. You're normally not supposed to go to this side this soon. You're supposed to just wait on the left side. He attacks and then he creates these hooks for you to get to the right side. But with a fairly precise glide and a buffer jump, you can barely make it over to that ledge. And hit him early. Okay, so that was worth 2. And now we get to play some levels in full. This level we also get to use Remedy for the first time. Has this charge that allows him to go pretty fast. It's probably one of my favorite levels in War 3. Dismount there to avoid the DK coin. And then this team throw. It is lower to team throw into that barrel than running these normally, but the reason why we do this team throw is because of this damage boost coming up. So when there are certain situations in the game where it allows you to basically store a super jump. And you can do that by team throwing your partner Kong upwards. And so the next time you take damage, if you hold B, you get flung up a little bit higher. And that's what allows Vixie to just fly over that swamp without having to wait for the barrel. Okay, this level... it's pretty infamous among runners. This is one of the hardest levels to optimize in the entire run. Merely by principle of it being a water level. Taking these corners tightly actually saves a lot more time than you would think. Also, why am I skipping the barrel? Definitely take this for safety. Yeah, in my PB attempts I'm used to skipping the barrel at the start because not having Diddy during one of the previous sections actually saves life frames. But if you get hit, you die. That's the trade-off. Okay, almost to the end. And we're good. By the way, this is a minor piece of tech that I haven't mentioned yet. That's a gold swap. If you can get an airborne state under certain scenarios, and when you have an airborne state and you swap Kongs next to a target, you can hit the target immediately instead of having to jump on it. And you also get to swatch Kongs in the process, so that's pretty handy. Here's another wrong warp. This one works a little bit differently. I need to focus first though. Ooh, I didn't... okay, I need to get the checkpoint and take that warp. So, well, actually, I might not have needed that warp. Anyway, it works a little bit differently because, as you can see, there are no invisible objects involved. There we go. You just use the scalpless here. Okay, this time I did the moonwalk properly. So, these enemies' behavior is kind of bugged to where when they go into the animation where they lift their swords, normally they're supposed to like change a byte corresponding to that enemy so that they can go into a certain behavior, but due to the programming error, they actually change a byte related to the player, and that's what actually allows you to ground warp. As long as you're exiting a launch barrel during that animation and you're holding left or right on the D-pad. For the green cutlasses, it just works like magic, but for the yellow cutlasses, in order to enable that behavior, you need to take a hit, which you can do by team throwing. Okay, this level is kind of infamous for its bad hitboxes. This animal body is kind of made for vertical stages mainly, and you have to use him for a horizontal one. Okay, I think we're through. This kaboing here at the end is kind of tricky also. If you don't approach him, like you have to be far right enough when you land on that kaboing, otherwise it hits you. Like, you get hit in circumstances where you think you would hit the enemy, and vice versa. It's pretty funny. There is a game on the DKC... Oh yeah, this is another super jump, by the way. There is a game that we play on the Donkey Kong Country Discord, where somebody... Oh, okay, I guess I have to take it after. Yeah, I killed the beetle that I needed to wrong warp. So sometimes it's actually hard to play that game. We, oh, actually, I shouldn't have started this level with a solo Kong. You know what? Kill me again. This will be better. Because there is a wrong warp here that saves a lot of time. I really don't want to play this level normally. But yeah, somebody posts a picture of an interaction between the snake and the enemy. And then people have to guess who wins. Sometimes it is pretty hard. No? Okay. Okay, this time let's take it slowly. This clash is much easier to do as Dixie as it is with Diddy. Because it is much more lenient than a 6-frame window. Okay, I really wanted to get that wrong warp. Stage is actually pretty tricky because some of these barrels, to get shot out of them quickly, it's a 3-frame window. These barrels that face the direction that you need to go in from the get-go. And then on top of that, there is a pretty major trick later on in the level. Skip a large portion. Got it. Okay, that's Divine Clip. Saves you from doing a very large maze that takes about 25 seconds or so to get through. And yeah, you can come back in like about a minute 30 from now, because there's not much going on in this boss. Just have to wait for him to fall down. He goes into this animation. The TNT dreadlock drops. 4, 5, 6. Hit. Do this for 6 times. I actually use a method to... because he falls down at a fixed time that is different between each cycle. So to time this, what I and most people use for timing this is we watch Dixie's breaths. So I know that for this one I have to wait for about 1.5 breaths, and then I can move and hit him. For this one it's 2 breaths. This first hit when he comes down actually does not stun you. For the longest time, until I started speedrunning this game, actually, I did not know that. Oh yeah, doing some wave dashes here and there, just because they look cool. Okay, that's the end of the fight. On to Ward 4. This is probably one of the toughest segments of the run. I'm gonna be trying a hard stage here. Swap to DD. Saves a little bit of time and makes this beginning pretty tough. Nice, that jump was a 2-frame window. And then we get Splitter. It's quite the detour, but it's worth it. Because we can set this up. And then we have to take damage here to unlock the camera. Oh, okay. I'm gonna wait for him. Okay, not too shabby. That stage is no joke, one of the hardest levels in the run to do properly. There's a lot that goes into it and a lot of corners to cut. This stage, on the other hand, is an auto-scroller. Yeah, Word 4. It's pretty deceptive, I guess, because it has 2 auto-scrollers. There's another roller coaster stage, kind of like this one later on. But the stages that are not auto-scrollers are all tough. So at first glance, this doesn't seem like that tough of a segment, but it really is. I do save a little bit of time when I jump off these carts. I can't speed up this cart at all, but when I jump from one cart to the next, then jumping as early as possible tends to be fastest. Oh yeah, I did a flitter skip earlier on in the level. There's another one coming up right here. Yeah, we're supposed to bounce on both of those, but you can skip one. Saves a tiny amount of time. We don't go for Swag Balloon, because why would you? And that's the end of the stage. Okay, and this is one of the toughest strong warps in the run. We'll be trying to focus here. Good. There's a lot of difficult things about this. The movement has to be pretty specific in order for the items to get loaded in memory in a specific order, in the correct order that you need. And getting the invisible object itself is actually pretty tough too. As well as actually hitting the exclamation mirror. You need a damage boost. And there are multiple ways to fail it. Okay, remind me to take a safety later in this level, because I don't want to die for no reason. Yeah, this is the other auto-scroller. It's a little bit more fast-paced, at least. This one keeps you a little bit more occupied. Okay, I'll be taking a small safety here. Jump past that. It's possible to walk off, and it is a little bit faster, but sometimes you die from doing that. And we're through. And the next level is possibly one of the most difficult levels in the run. Lots of trick parts to this one. Including a wrong warp at the end. Why did I jump that early? here's the wrong one. Should work. Perfect. That wrong was actually pretty tough. And the whole stage, you are going above a death barrier during like half the duration of that stage. Needless to say, it's pretty dangerous. I'm gonna do something slower here. Okay. I can get these keep. I don't think you usually can anyway. Under that circumstance. I had to play that screen a little bit safer because I messed up my honey climb. Okay. This restaurant section looks pretty cool. Gonna be attempting at that jump. Nice. That one looks scary, and it is. But it's not that difficult once you get the hang of it. Small double jump here at the end. I don't think I've ever explained the double jump. So there is a tech with Rambi where if you're in the middle of a charge and you start a jump, you can actually release P, reprice it in midair, and do a quick wiggle with the D-pad, and allows you to do a double jump. It's useful there to skip a barrel, save a little bit of time. Okay, this boss is actually kind of tricky. Not because the execution is particularly hard, but because if a single mistake is made and this fight goes off script, it is really, really hard to recover. This is a pretty tough boss to improvise. Okay, I can't go for 2 cycles here. This beam. Okay, nice and safe. Okay, that was Word 4. And here we're approaching Word 5. This one, I would say there are not as many tricky parts to this, but it's much easier for a mistake here to result in death. In this world in general. Don't get hit by red guy. Those guys can combo you to death. They're scary. I'm gonna get this checkpoint. I probably should have been doing the 2 Kongs route. I'm doing kind of an unsafe... Yeah, get Dixie. That's not very safe to do. Okay, that was fine. Okay, question number 1. How many lives do I have? 8. Question number 2. I don't actually have any questions, but this is Haunted Hall. Yeah, this is another auto-scroller. Sort of. So there actually are tons of ways to save time in this stage. Jumping... Generally speaking, jumping on upslopes, any kind of upslopes, tends to be faster. And jumping down large downslopes tends to be faster also. But to go through this stage the fastest, the best way to do it is to just memorize where ideally you want to do every single jump. So I know exactly where to jump to save a few frames here and there. Okay, so the reason why I looked at my life count earlier in the stage is because I'm gonna be attempting the hardest wrong warp in the run in the next stage, and it might very well take a few tries. I will be mercy kill it if it takes too many tries, but yeah. There is a really tough wrong warp in Gusty Glade coming up. Okay, 10 limes now. We'll try it. I will need to focus throughout this entire thing, though. I got janked out by sub-pixel values. That's what happened. It's not too common, but sometimes when you try to make those jumps, you're just completely prevented from reaching the next pillar. There are slightly safer ways to do this, but they're much more time-consuming. Okay, there we go. One more tough part to this. Perfect. So you get an invis. We need to carry that beetle all the way to this bonus barrel because there is only one beetle throughout the entire level. And we can get an invisible object by trying to throw that beetle while sliding down a slope. That's the only way to get the invisible object near that bonus barrel. That's what makes this wrong warp so tough. Okay, Perishabanic. This is probably one of the most visually impressive levels in the entire run, because you're just free-falling for the most part. We use Dixie hovers here and there, though, just to make it slightly easier. Okay, I need to do something safer here. Like that. And now we drop. Hover. Okay. Here's a net pot. Got it. 2, 3. Good. Okay, this is Webwoods. So, this level... Oh, okay. Wait for the guy. One mistake in this level means death. We play as Quitter the Spider, and we go over pits. I'm 100% getting the checkpoint here. Second half is pretty tough. These damage boosts can give you a double jump. They're intentional. Okay, that was relatively smooth. I've been stuck in this level for minutes before. Good thing today kind of behaved. Alright, this is Crotoon. This is one of the only 3 stages in the run that has RNG. The other ones being Cleaver and Crow. So funnily enough, Crow is technically responsible for 2 out of the 3 stages in this run that has RNG. Yeah, these barrels can spawn in different locations. On that cycle specifically, if it spawned on the left side, that would be pretty time consuming, loses a few seconds. I got a right spawn though, which is fastest. Okay, perfect. Swap to Dixie. Yeah. Whenever a fanfare is forced like this, you always wanna do the fanfare with Dixie because her guitar solo is faster than Dixie's boombox by about 3 seconds. Okay, the stage hosts the most recently found major glitch. I'm gonna be attempting a zip. This one saves about 15 seconds over doing the stage normally. You're normally supposed to play this as in guard, but I purposely skipped that barrel. Now we're gonna go back. Take this fish on an adventure. Swap. Ooh, I swapped slightly too late. Okay, I'm gonna get this barrel and try again. Go down. Okay, that was better. So, if you get hit... Okay, normally when you swap Kongs, you freeze the world around you, so you can't get hit during that animation. But if you swap in the water, enemies are still free to hit you during that. And that's what allows you to get hit inside walls, which ends up zipping you. Now, you can do that zip in any water level, but the problem is that there's a mechanic that if your camera doesn't follow you, then you are stuck in place and can't move. It's pretty lucky that in that stage it works out that the target is right there. And it is loaded at all times. So you can literally just zip and get right to the end of the stage. In Glimmer's Garden, for example, there is another, even more major zip, technically, that you could do to skip close to the end. But since the camera doesn't follow you, you can't actually swim to the end. So far, Arctic Abyss is the only stage that actually has a useful zip in it. Oh yeah, it is Windy Well. I actually like this stage. It's a little bit slow-paced. But I like the optimizations that are here. That's called Ghetto Biscuit. Gotta wait here. And that's called the end of the stage. Alright, this is the biggest wrong warp in the entire game. This stage normally lasts 5 minutes. It is an auto-scroller. Nobody likes it. Conveniently. You can do this. Boom. So that's another Cutlass wrong warp. It works even if you're exiting out of animal barrels. So we can use that Rammy barrel and the Cutlass to do this. You lose a life in the process, but it doesn't matter. Ooh. Okay. Back here. I'm gonna have to play this safe. Normally you're Dixie for this section. Ooh. Close one there, buddy. Yeah, hovering makes this a lot easier. There is a fast way to do this spiny, but I'm gonna wait. Get that checkpoint. That's a hidden invisible barrel. Or invisible thing. Yeah, makes this section much faster. Okay. Here's a little bit of a tricky wrong warp. Stage is pretty cool. Lots of ropes or chains. Ooh, okay. Crouching here actually makes you grab the cannonball earlier if you need to back it up. Oh, I didn't actually get in this. Okay, no problem. This is a little bit time consuming, but I don't need to actually take a death warp to try again. I'm actually surprised that didn't work. It's okay though. Ooh. Okay, that one is even more surprising that it didn't work. Maybe I fell wrong. There's a lot of micro movements that you need to be mindful of to make this work. So just where you fall from the upper platform actually does determine whether you actually get to spawn the cannonball in the correct slot. Right there. That might be too wide. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, took a few tries. This is Toxic Tower. This is my favorite speedrun. This is my favorite individual level. Good start. I can't go for the Omega now. Okay, there's normally a much larger skip you can go for, but it needs a damage boost. Okay, not too shabby still. Get a checkpoint. Thank you. I was trying something really tight there. You can barely squeeze under that beam. It allows you to save HP for a later section, and it's faster to damage boost later than it is right there. Right here. If you add health, you will damage boost here. That's a little bit less scary than it seems. Just a little bit though. Short-lived spider section, and that's it. Okay, one more word. Word 7 is comprised of Screech's Sprint and then Kero, who is the final boss. Okay, this level is really tough. Really dangerous also, because I get to do this section with Solo Diddy. That jump is tough. Ooh, barely too low. Okay, no problem. So yeah, this jump is actually kind of a bit frame window, but the thing about that jump is that you need to hold B for a pretty specific amount. As low as possible works, but if you jump as low as possible, it actually decreases the frame window for that jump. So there is a golden spot of number of frames that you want to hold B for. Okay, you can skip the race. You can do it without taking a damage boost, but that works. Just means that this is kind of dangerous, obviously. Ooh, okay. Barely too high. That's a little bit easier than it looks. You can barely squeeze in between those two Bs, but still pretty scary. And you don't want to hold left when you're coming out of that. I forgot. Okay. Yeah, just fall there, let it do its thing. Okay, that's how you do that without that damage boost. Okay, hopefully this time it will be much safer. We're fine. I can't possibly die from here. I told you. This level is free. Alright, alright. Yeah. Just a final boss left. This is... Yeah, this is the longest stage in the entire run. There's not much you can do to speed up this boss fight. Aside from... So, like, you have to wait around until he starts sucking in with his shotgun. And you want to throw these cannonballs as soon as you can to save frame. But apart from that, this is a glorified cutscene. And then we'll be done with the run. This is actually technically another instance of RNG. These two cannonballs. Either of these two can be the cannonball you need to throw. And as far as I could tell, this is the only instance of RNG that does not get determined at the start of the level. Because I could reload a save state inside the fight and get the RNG to change on those two cannonballs. It doesn't affect time though. Just a bizarre kind of RNG. There are multiple visual cues I use for this fight. Each runner has their own, but for example, for that throw right there, I actually use the audio cue of the last cannonball bouncing on the ground, and as soon as I hear that, when I'm positioned over this iron girder, I throw. Good job. I'll be fine. There's no way I can get hit on Kero. Again, I mean. I'm definitely taking this payroll though, don't judge me. Okay, cool little trick here. You can, wait, what? Okay, so what was supposed to... Dixie, what are you doing? Okay, so that's not at all what was supposed to happen. I've never seen this before. Can you even die from here? Is this a soft lock? I guess there's a first time for everything. Yeah, I guess this is a soft lock. Okay, I can, if you guys don't mind, I can load into the completed file and finish the fight, like that. Wow! I had never seen that before. Well, just pretend that that this is still the same file. Okay. Oh, I barely will miss the estimate, will I? Well, I mean, the game cheated, though. Come on. I will not try that trick again. Hey, if anything, ooh, that nice throw. If anything, we get to listen to this song a little bit more. Okay. Almost there again. Okay, so normally what you can do there is you can team throw while getting hit by the light blue clouds here, and you can basically permanently become blue for the entire fight and be able to freely move. It's a pretty cool trick. But, yeah, after what happened earlier, let's just say it's grounded for now. Okay, this is the final phase. You can just hold left and Y here. He'll never suck you in. Only works with Diddy though. If you have Dixie, you actually need to roll and jump cancel the rolls. Alright. Carol cheated. But this is a run. Alright, I don't have a coin on this file because this is a beaten file. just pretend there was a coin there, you know? Alright, so that was Donkey Country 2. That was 80%. Hope you guys enjoyed the run because I did. I had never seen that softlock before, so today I learned. Yeah. Normally, there's a lot more content in this game. There's a lot of hidden bonuses, and when you get enough bonuses, you can unlock extra levels that unlock the true ending, and you get to fight Carol again. In a little bit of a different, I guess, tougher fight too, if you will. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy the rest of SNES Super Stars. I'll cut whenever I get told that I'm free to. Take care.